this I stand. Two sets of footprints placed ahead of the dirt, softened from teardrops, and overlooking the earth as the son of a moon, protected by a force field of pure thought. On this I stand. A rally of unemployed, disgruntled words spawned from long journeys through somewhere that only caused me pain as I strained my soul, cramming it with bite so I could bring some there. I bleed the blood of a cold stone that roams without a shadow. I'm only deep enough to realize that I'm shallow. My head, I keep it up, but it's hard to keep it straight when you don't believe in love and you just can't cope with hate. Metal rust, leaves turn into dust as the difference between love and lust clarifies its trust. If you only had an hour to sum your whole life up, would you spend that hour saying that an hour ain't enough? I've escaped the shell that bound me to cowardice. Now I'm faithful to the wind, but compared to it I'm powerless. The first step was made, and it was a fair accomplishment. The pond was sitting still, so I threw a rock in it, and as my reflection rippled, it all became clear. Seasons always change, so there's no reason for fear. We made an autobiography of our pivotal years. It's all I got, and I'm giving it to you because I care. See, a lot of the time, humans as artists exist in a self-projected state of falsehood. We're either too close to our image to be objective in our perception, or too far away to be subjective in any matter. This only widens the void that social conformity introduced to our souls at birth. And so I write. But I don't write without the intention of objectivity or attention on the image, but only as an omnidirectional bridge between the several floating tunnel-structured realities present in comparable space and time. See, I don't write for the future, I write about the future for the present. I write with my past about the future for the present. On this I stand, the oasis of a limbo, adjacent to my generation, facing out the window, waiting for some ventilation, patient while the wind blows, graceful in its demonstration, overall innovation. On this I stand, a fountain of youth, sovereignty, 1,000 syllables more than a pound of flesh, a deep breath of achievement, a dream and a wake-up call, another hall of the quest. On this I stand, a letter to civilization. On this I stand, the purity of creation. On this I stand, a paradigm for self. On this I stand, a thank you for your help. On this I stand, my firstborn child. On this I stand, something for now. On this I stand, life, love, death, and hate. On this I stand, an album, glad you can relate. Peace. What a beautiful world, so fragile and fertile. Pain filled the void when boy met girl. He's a puppet to nature. 1 year later now, so deeply and sickly in love it makes him hate her. The average romanticized American relationship sinks, capsize when either side becomes a slave to it. Conditioned, dependent, afraid to be alone. He needs that feeling that he can't create all on his own. He despises the fact she has a life outside of them. It drives him crazy to think she's not insanely consumed with him. Give her the guilt trip and maybe she'll quit living to stay behind his prison walls and lose all individualism. Well, this is happiness, masochistic torture, plagued by the decadent crave for affection. The needle digs deep to push contentment through his bloodstream and drown out hollow, the pothole of a junkie. If he could only hear her sing, he wouldn't want to break her wings. But emptiness has such a warm, subtle sting. She makes up for what he lacks. Trapped. He can't imagine life without someone like that.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
What a beautiful world, emotionally destroyed. Her became plural when girl met boy. Between several breakups and plenty relapses, routine bred comfort led to serious attachment. Now every once in a while she forgets to breathe, terrified of losing them. Paradise is misery. Too much faith in the life-saving knight in shining armor. Now at nights noticing the scars she can't hide any longer. But they were her story way before he was. It's gross hope to think that he would heal such deep cuts. At first it felt so right, but after one too many fights, he turned out that hallway light, and all the wonder turned to spite. So they sleep in the same bed with guns to each other's heads. Dead to romance, boiling the blood that painted roses red. Suffering from post-honeymoon disease, leached to his whole existence. She'll die if he decides to leave. Addicted to the way she feels when they spend time together, detouring the now in a childish attempt to find forever. Despite the fact they hold each other heart to heart, you can't be that close to somebody without being so far apart.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
This is the most obscure sound I've ever heard. Those lonely giant spaces in between your every word. And maybe I'm totally crazy for holding on, but just cause I'm insane don't mean that I'm wrong. Now that you're gone, I can't sleep at night. I barely even function right. My memories on overdrive, too hungry and too cold to cry. Miss the companionship I once took for granted. The way you helped me manage the partnership that vanished. But I don't expect you to stay chained by the ankle. There's so much world to see, so fly free my angel. I'm dying without you, but it's teaching me to live. Heaven ain't something someone else can give. It's all inside of me.
We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Twisted, living off each other's sickness like parasites. This is paradise. We've rediscovered the lone wolves are dying. Only the lonely resent angels for flying. Addicted, afraid to take control of my own life. This is paradise.
There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping you from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping me from flying free? There's so much world to see. What's stopping
Everyone knew she was a special young girl, from her neighbors to her teachers. Some labeled her prodigy, others called her a genius. It was amazing the way she could play the violin. It made it hard for people to believe that she was only 10. But behind every brilliant mind there lies a monster. This one just so happened to be her father. See, daddy was sick, he'd get a rush by playing touchy-touchy, telling her to keep it hush. This was his secret way of love, and that he needed someone he could trust. Fucked her head up, saying if mama was alive, she'd be so proud of us. So she'd hide her desire to die, but if you paid close attention, you could see the sorrow in her eyes. Walking around in the only real hell, no one would ever think she'd have such a story to tell. Afraid to go home, afraid to talk, afraid to cry. She was too young to even know why.
And every day she go to the river with a message in a bottle saying, please God help me, I don't wanna live to see tomorrow.
Each day she's trying for a tiny shred of hope, just to wish the bottle would stay afloat. But every single solitary day, the bottle seems to sink. I don't know why, but the bottle always sinks. She never sees it happen, but the bottle always sinks. Now only the bottom of the river much pain. Could almost hear her scream through the strange vibration. What was once sweet and innocent is now rotting, cause a psychotic father chose to grow the flowers of the pure and sacred. Her instrument was her only tongue to express the infinite abuse in its depths. At night the footsteps crept to her door and she began to shake and weep. And with tears rolling down her cheek, she pretended she was asleep. And when the nightmare was over and the sun dawned its light, she'd retreat to the same place she always did, rip a page from her diary and write with all her might, and send it off into the current, determined to find a destination.
Go to the river with a message in a bottle saying, please God help me, I don't wanna live to see tomorrow.
Each day she'd strive for a tiny shred of hope, just to wish the bottle would stay afloat.